There's a few reasons that I just have no interest in going back and living back in the UK. This is nothing against anyone who enjoys living in the UK and is happy there. I am happy for you. Everybody has different places where they feel more at home. For me, the UK just isn't it. I might get a lot of hate for saying this, and obviously this is a big generalisation, but I just get the feeling that the people in the UK are miserable. Nobody seems happy. Everybody's just working their asses off to just about scrape by and earn enough to be able to pay their bills, and nobody seems like they are happy. Whereas when you move abroad,
UK immigration crisis. Families leaving the UK. Visas ending. Futures collapsing. Right now, thousands of families are quietly packing their lives into suitcases, not because they want to, but because the system is forcing them out. This is not about holidays. This is not about choice. This is about parents losing legal status, children pulled out of schools, and families walking away from years of work, rent, taxes, and memories, sometimes with just weeks' notice. If you are on a skilled worker visa, student visa, dependent visa, or planning to settle in the UK, you need to watch this carefully, because what's happening is accelerating. Let's slow this down and expose what's really going on. The silent exodus nobody is talking about. You won't see this on glossy government websites. You won't hear it in official speeches. But across the UK, a silent exodus is happening. Families are leaving after visa refusals, after sponsorship collapses, after salary threshold changes, after dependent restrictions, after ILR timelines quietly stretching. These are not single individuals. These are families with children, some born in the UK, some who have never lived anywhere else. And the hardest part? Most people only realize how fragile their situation is when it's already too late. Now, let's talk about the first real trigger. UK immigration status is not just a document, it is the foundation of everything. The moment status becomes uncertain, jobs are frozen, employers step back, landlords hesitate, banks stop cooperating, schools start asking questions. One letter from the Home Office can quietly turn a stable life into a countdown. And for families, the pressure multiplies. Parents panic silently, children sense instability, plans stop, futures shrink. This is not dramatic, this is structural. But here's what makes this even more devastating. The children pay the highest price. Children don't understand visa categories. They understand routine, friends, and belonging. Imagine explaining to a child, "You can't see your friends anymore. You won't finish school here. We have to leave quickly." Many children affected by forced exits speak with British accents, know only UK culture, have never lived in their parents' home country, yet legally they are just dependents. And when families leave, education is interrupted, emotional stability is broken, identity becomes confused. This is not discussed enough, but it is happening daily. Now, let's talk about the financial damage, because it's brutal. The financial aftershock nobody prepares you for. Leaving the UK under pressure is expensive. Families lose deposits, advance rent, school fees, flights booked last minute, items sold at a loss. Some leave behind cars, furniture, businesses, professional progress, years of effort erased in weeks. And many families leave in debt, not because they failed, but because the rules changed faster than they could adapt. This is where regret sets in. Should we have left earlier? Should we have chosen another route? Should we have known? But here's the most dangerous part of all. The UK immigration system rarely collapses loudly. It collapses quietly. A rule update, a threshold increase, a sponsor withdrawal, a delay that turns into refusal. By the time people react, options are limited. That's why families are leaving in shock, not strategy. And this is why watching, Learning and preparing early is no longer optional. If you wait until the problem arrives, you are already behind. If you're finding this useful, subscribe now. This channel exists to help you see risks before they become exits. Now let's go deeper, because this affects the future of the UK itself. Because when families leave, something else is lost. When families leave, the UK doesn't just lose numbers, it loses skilled workers, stable taxpayers, long-term contributors, children who would grow up British in everything but paperwork. Communities fracture, schools lose students, employers lose trained staff, and this creates a cycle. Uncertainty drives exits, exits reduce stability, stability becomes harder to maintain. This is not anti-immigration, this is reality. So the question becomes, what should families do right now? This is not about panic, it is about awareness and timing. Families who survive UK immigration pressure monitor rule changes early, diversify options, avoid single-point dependency, plan exits before being forced. The worst position to be in is surprised. Information is protection. And now, the most important part. If you are currently in the UK on a temporary visa, do not assume stability equals security. The families leaving today once believed, "We are fine. We will sort it later. It won't affect us." Until it did. This video is not meant to scare you, it's meant to wake you up. Because exits are rarely emotional at the airport. They are emotional months before, when hope quietly fades. If you want clear, honest discussions about UK immigration risks, realities, and survival strategies, like this video, subscribe to the channel, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and comment below. Are you seeing families leave around you, or are you feeling the pressure yourself? You're not alone, and staying informed may be the difference between planning your future or packing it overnight.